I'm here with the founders, with Bogdan and the team, and Bogdan is going to present the other team members immediately. I'm here with my very good friend Vlad Panait from Sparking Capital, and with my good friend Cristian Munteanu from Early Game Ventures. It's only a few of us in Romania, so it would be a shame not to be friends. So, but anyway, it's not very often that we mingle ourselves supporting a great team like Hyperhuman. So I'm glad to do this. You are invited to say hello to the audience.
Hello, and thanks for the interview.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy being here. Thank you.
Bogdan.
Hey everyone, thanks for having us. It's a pleasure to be presenting today what we are doing at our endeavor and to talk more and get your question and trying to answer the things that you are asking us. So just a few words about myself. 19 years now in tech, funded 2 companies, 2 startups in the past, joined startups and large companies before. Digital health is my sweet spot, my passion, preventing problems rather than treating problems in general. And I'm fortunate to be having Dan and David as co-founders in this amazing journey. So Dan, if you want to take over.
Hi everyone, nice to get to meet you. So I'm Dan. I have worked before as a management consultant. The 2 startups that Bogdan mentioned, I was also part of, and that's how I got into tech. And since then, I mostly worked as a product manager or lead product manager. So I managed the teams that created from scratch remittance portal in the fintech industry. And I worked for various startups and large corporations until getting back to what I like to do most. So work on this kind of companies with Bogdan and David. Thank you. At Hyperhuman, I'm mostly part of the product team and I manage the operations.
Cool. Hi everyone. Thank you for joining. My name is David. I'm a product designer. I've been doing this for the past 13 years or so. I've founded 2 startups in the past. I've worked in advertising. Then I moved to product companies and worked for some companies in Bucharest, in New York, in San Francisco. The last one before Hyperhuman was Fitbit, where I met Bogdan. And when Google acquired Fitbit, we decided to do our own thing and start Hyperhuman together with them. So I've been in the industry for the past 5 years or so because I've been working for another company in New York, also in the health and fitness industry. At Hyperhuman, I'm also involved in everything that's related to design and products. That includes product thinking, interaction design, visual design. So anything that's kind of product design related. Thanks.
And just to be a little bit more detached on the everyday activities, David is an ex-professional athlete in his youth, a basketball player. Then was a professional skier. I was not a professional anything on the sports side. I was an amateur footballer back in Germany when I studied years ago. So we are also connected through passion for the active lifestyle. So this is an important thing on the side of the everyday activity.
Yeah, you know, Bogdan, I was playing rugby until the university ended. And while I was in a match and I was injured, the doctor came and said, "Why the fuck are you still here? Go and do something for yourselves. Forget about sports." So somehow, I don't know if the doctor was crazy or not, but I did what he told me. And I just told him, "Yeah, but my father forces me." And then, "Forget about your father, you're 25. Do what you have to do."
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's an important connection. So I still believe in the active lifestyle. We are still doing on the amateur side sports activities. So not turning back to that, but yeah, this is an important thing for us, and I wanted to share this with everyone.
Yeah, it's important for everyone. So just to make sure that everybody knows the schedule, Bogdan and the team are going to present their deck so that you understand better what they're doing. And then there would be a session for questions and answers. Before that session, I will interview the two guys, my two friends from the venture funds, so that we understand what's in it for them and what were the reasons for that they invested from the beginning in your team. And then we'll take the questions from the audience, and that would be the whole session. Please, Bogdan, you take over.
Thanks, and sounds like a plan. So let me share my screen, and I hope everyone can see it. We have another monitor. I can see the screen, so I hope everything is working as expected. So let's start. So again, this is Bogdan, CEO and co-founder at Hyperhuman. And I have a question. How many of you started their first online workout or yoga session during the pandemic? At Hyperhuman, we make world's health and fitness video content universally accessible, reusable, and licensable. In other words, we are building world's largest supply of consistent quality content ready to be licensed to enterprise level clients. How do we achieve this? By providing the tools and AI technology to reduce the entire process to minutes compared to what now takes weeks and advanced video editing skills. The future of this industry is hybrid, digital and in person, because COVID changed consumer behavior forever. This leads to a massive demand for consistent quality content. So how do we solve this problem and deliver on our bold mission? We provide an entire ecosystem specially designed for this industry: a dedicated content production app, a content moderation platform, a proprietary video AI engine to extract reusable video blocks out of plain old fitness videos. But there's more. This content needs to be published and consumed on different channels, right? Keyword here, omni-channel. Build once, publish everywhere. Let people consume the content anywhere they want. On our dedicated app, on the YouTubes of the world, on their own websites or digital products. We are a young company. We started on January 4th, 2021. Launched the MVP of this high-tech ecosystem in under 9 months and registered solid growth in every KPI, week over week, month over month. So, where do we fit in this apparently crowded and sometimes overwhelming industry? We are quite uniquely positioned. 2 simple attributes to compare us against others. Is that platform an open ecosystem? Do creators and businesses have access to production, distribution, or licensing capabilities on that platform? And what type of content can be created? Is it interactive? Is it reusable? Is it smart? Can it learn and adapt to the audience over time? Hyperhuman Studio is our flagship product, the gateway to seamless content production. We help professionals and businesses create content in minutes without any tech or video editing skills needed. Our business platform helps organizations scale their content production and distribution capabilities and provides corporate level clients an API to license this constant feed of curated video from a global network of creators. We are proud to have such an experienced team on 3 continents to help us become the go-to platform for the health and fitness content. Like I mentioned before, Dan and I founded together 2 startups in the past, and David and I worked for years together at Fitbit, now part of Google. This year is all about growing the business, boosting the commercial activities, increase the recurring revenue, expand into the B2B side, and enter new markets. We are already making some waves in the international press, and I promise you, this is just the beginning. So, besides a world-class team, we are also fortunate to be backed by leading tech funds in our journey to make world's health and fitness video content universally accessible, reusable, and licensable. This late seed round will speed up our growth and help us expand our offering to businesses from our key markets, North America, UK, and Australia. And of course, I'm more than happy now to get into answer your questions and talk about our product and our future plans. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bogdan. It was impressive what you presented already. I'm gonna start with my personal question, which was on my mind since the minute I met you first time. We don't have many startups where there is a huge gap between their early stage and their perspective for the future. It's not about the gap, it's about a big distance. I mean, you are already known by lots and lots of clients. You are already known by the market. You have already developed the relationship with financing funds for the future. So you're already there. And our mission somehow here is to provide you with a bridge that will probably fill in part of this distance, this big distance between what you started and what you are going to be in 1 or 2 years. How do you explain this? I mean, where is the secret? What's the secret sauce that stands behind this distance?
So in startup lives, this is not a huge distance. This is actually a peanut in terms of duration. In the first year, we focused on delivering and building the core of our product. First round was all about product execution, delivery, and gaining momentum. So gaining clients, gaining usage. This was year 1. Then next step is, of course, grow and expand commercially, build upon this momentum. And there is not a huge gap to the next step. The next step is, of course, turbo boost the growth, expand, win more markets, be the go-to platform, content platform in specific markets, and then growing and expanding. So yes, we are fortunate to be backed by venture capital from day 1. This is something very important for us. And yes, we are already preparing our journey, but it's a step-by-step journey, crawl, walk, run, as a strategy and as a mentality for us.
Yeah, you pronounce the word turbo, which more or less defines what you're doing there. But hyper is as well a word that defines you.
I'm trying to keep away from hyper. It's such a cliche.
It's your name, my man. It's your name.
I know. We are trying to not always use hyper in any context. But yes, you are totally right. And what's the sauce? To understand your client, to understand the need, solve a real problem for real clients. And that's what we are doing. And that's how we got trusted by thousands of professionals and already businesses to use and to be part of this journey. I just had a call last evening with a company from San Francisco, Y Combinator, the biggest company, consumer fitness app for Latin America. They need to scale their content production capabilities, and we are the right platform for them. We are also integrating with larger businesses, the largest chain in UK, which they right now reinvent themselves in terms of digital offering. And the largest manufacturer from Italy, I cannot say the names because of many reasons, but we are having already large corporate clients reaching out to us and signing partnerships, preparing the next steps in our journey without even, let's say, being at the corporate level in terms of size and capital, and of course, years in the industry.
Okay, thanks for the answer. Mirela, I see you raised the hand.
Yes, I have a question. Can you share with us some information in terms of geographies, countries related to the gym or fitness business-to-business companies that you are already in business with them?
Totally. So two types of businesses. Traditional, that's how we create the clusters. Traditional businesses, gyms, like you mentioned, Pilates studios, physiotherapy organizations, and digital businesses, like the one that I mentioned before. Digital companies, consumer fitness apps, hardware, Fitbits of the world, Pelotons of the world, both are needing the same thing, to scale and to produce and distribute at scale, constant feed of content. What's the geography for that? North America, we have most of our clients from North America, US and Canada, UK and Australia. You probably see a connection, English-speaking mature markets. This is our market. This is our playground.
Okay, all right. So before going to the questions from the audience, I'm going to turn myself to the two gentlemen that are joining us. And I'll start with Cristi from Early Game Ventures with the question that I was asking before. How come you invested in the right company from the beginning?
Yeah, this is our job. This is why we are paid for, to find the good startups and to invest in them. I've known Bogdan and Dan for years. I think that we first met in 2013, so plus almost 10 years ago. And at that moment, they were startup founders with another fitness app, and they were relocating to Dallas, Texas. So they were going to an accelerator in the States, and that was a great opportunity for them to learn a lot. We kept in touch, and we became friends. And I was the startup founder at that time as well. So we already knew each other. And after that startup, Bogdan, Dan, they joined a corporation, Fitbit. So once again, they stayed in this fitness industry, and they accumulated more experience, and they learned even more than before. And the moment when Google acquired Fitbit, immediately for us this was an opportunity, because we anticipated that many of the Fitbit employees will start startups. So we immediately jumped on calls and discussions with many people there, and we are happy to have the opportunity to be the first investors in Hyperhuman. What we liked about Hyperhuman is that there are many fitness apps in the world, and the common investor sees this as a danger. There is a red ocean, they say, but for Hyperhuman, this is not a danger. This is the opportunity, because each and every of these many apps out there come with their own fitness video content, and each video is filmed in a different way, with different tools and different standards. There is no consistency in terms of how the fitness video will look like and feel like. So this is the big problem for the big players, for the Nikes and for the Adidases of the world. They need to have a huge quantity of fitness exercises, but of consistent quality. So what Hyperhuman is doing, and I encourage you all to look at Hyperhuman this way, Hyperhuman built a tool and offered this tool to the trainers anywhere in the world, so that the trainers using the tool create similar video fitness-related content. Practically, Hyperhuman created a tool in order to ensure the consistency. And when this is going to scale up, Hyperhuman will be the only player in the world that will own and control a huge amount of video fitness content that looks and feel the same. And this is their path to monetizing big, because Nike or Adidas will want to license this kind of content. Hundreds of thousands of video that look the same and feel the same. This is something that only Hyperhuman can offer. So in my mind, this is what sets them apart. This is why I grasped this opportunity to invest in Hyperhuman. And if I may, I would add a second reason besides the team, which of course is the number one reason. The second team would be is motivated by the macroeconomic factors, because we know that in the coming years we'll have an economic crisis. Okay, this is coming. We are already in the late stages of a bubble, and when this comes, the startups that will do well at that moment will be what we call the counter-cyclic startups, the startups that do well when the market is doing badly. And any kind of content economy, of creator economy, app will be doing good at that moment, because the world needs such startups that offer people an opportunity to make money. And Hyperhuman is doing this. Practically is offering trainers another way to monetize what they know to do. So I think that these two reasons should be quite convincing for anyone. I'm also very convinced that the SeedBlink campaign will be very successful. Last time we brought a company to SeedBlink, we broke all records. I think that the campaign was closed in like 3 hours or something like that. And I have faith that Hyperhuman will break the records once again. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Cristi. We were at the beginning last year, and we were counting the hours until someone closing the round. Now our success is measured a bit differently, but we improved all the time the quality of companies. And now companies are not that different between themselves. They are only good companies, and people are taking their time, at least private people taking their time in order to know where they invest the money. Now I'm coming back with the same question to you, Vlad, because the market is not that large. Although it's only the two of you that invested in Hyperhuman, and that's something special. I mean, it's good that there are two VCs that are investing in a company, but we all know that you have to have very good relationship with the company in order to participate, to have a place at the table. So how do you done that? How have you done that?
Thanks, Ionuț, first for having us here. And I'm also glad that we have so many investors interested in this, and hopefully we'll be able to convince them together with the team that that's a right investment and it will be a profitable investment for them. Some of the things have been said by Cristi, so I will not repeat what he have said. So there are a few teams that we know that has so strong industry insights as this team. I mean, from our few years experiences, just a few started with this kind of industry insights that they have it, both as entrepreneurs, so people that have started company startups, but also as corporate, and that's unique. There are very few startups that you'll find this combination of industry insights that you'll find it here in this team. So that's great, and this what gave us the confidence that they will grow and then they will succeed. Just to mention that when we invested together with Early Game, with Christy, we did it as a pre-seed investment. So they didn't have an MVP yet. They didn't, it was just, we basically invested in the team, and we invested in the opportunity that we believe that we understand it right. So they didn't have the product, they didn't have very few things.
They had a PowerPoint.
They have a PowerPoint mainly, but well, we believe that what they are after will develop very nicely, and this comes to the opportunity that Christy have described it in terms of creators economy, and in terms of the offering that they are bringing. So the tools that they are bringing to so many fitness trainers in such a way that they will be able to monetize, to create quality content and monetize it and distribute it. As you know, many of them are using, less professional tools like simple smartphones. They have opened their YouTube channels or Facebook channels, but they're still missing, let's say, professional tools in such a way that they have more chances to monetize. So this will grow very fast. The full creator economy is growing very fast. So that's a big opportunity here. The other one are the macro trends. So the health and wellness trend is growing from year to year. It will not stop now. And this was even enhanced by what happened with COVID. And that's a massive change in consumer behavior, in the sense that despite the fact that gyms are open from time to time, sometimes open, then close again and so on, and probably it will continue like this for a period of time, consumers switch to also digital fitness content consumption. So they're not only going to gyms to do their fitness, but they're also consuming a lot. And that's why they're very well positioned here to exploit these trends, because they're offering an app which give the creators the tools to have very good quality content, that they can use it by themselves with their own trainees or their own business, but also by businesses. And here it's a very, very big opportunity. Bogdan have mentioned some figures, but I don't know if everybody saw them in the deck. So in Europe, there are probably 30-40 million of fitness subscribers. So people that are going regularly, they have a fitness subscription. So they go to fitness gyms. If you add North America and all the rest, I'm not talking about Asia, which is a different ball game. We're talking about more than 100 million people. These people are consuming also digital content. So they're quite well positioned, because not all the chains are having the capabilities to do this, to have very good content and very good capabilities in developing content. The same when talking about the different smart gym equipment producers. Bogdan mentioned somebody from Italy. If you'll search, you'll know who is talking about. But the same, they're a hardware producer and they need content. Despite the fact that the treadmills and the bicycles that they have are smart, they need content to have on this. And they are well positioned to offer those businesses the content that they need to address their customers. So just to mention a few things, I believe that they're quite well positioned. So very good team, very good macro trends, very favorable consumer behavior changes in such a way that they can grow very fast and become a very big player in this area.
Yeah, anyway, gentlemen, I have to congratulate both of you again and again, because being close to Hyperhuman really means a lot for them, for us, and not ultimately for yourselves.
Thanks.
What is very important, and it gets right into my eyes, is that Hyperhuman confirmed their MVP into the market like nobody else. I mean, they have lots of clients and lots of firm commitments, and this doesn't happen usually. I mean, usually you have to pivot a couple of times until you find your own way. But as you said, probably because they have huge expertise and into the industry, they somehow got it right, and the market proves them right. So this is a very, very, very tough point and strong point for themselves. Okay, let's take some questions.
Yeah, look, one thing to add, it's by design. So besides the PowerPoint that we came before closing the first round, we worked on the side the whole 2020. So during the pandemic, post-pandemic, 2020, we did a lot of experiments, a lot of landing pages, a lot of unique selling propositions that we saw converted or did not convert. Where in Australia, in UK, in big markets, we created fake landing pages to see the appetite, to prove things. So it's by design, it's a continuous learning process with experiments, with data, with insights, and some educated guesses, if you want.
Okay, so let's take the questions now from the audience. If you can open the Q&A session so that I don't read them to you, you read them yourselves. The first one is Bogdan. Do you see the questions?
One second, yes.
Okay, so first Bogdan Surde, which is a former colleague of mine. Hi, Bogdan.
Hey, Bogdan. So I can read the question for everyone. So based on your experience, do you think an app in this space without a hardware component can succeed? If yes, please explain why. It's a great question because I actually come from a hardware manufacturer in this industry. Hardware without content is not a successful commercial product. Apple launched their content strategy just to retain clients on their Apple Watch. Every hardware company needs to have a content strategy in order to retain their acquired clients through the hardware they are selling. So it's a retention and it's a crucial part of a commercial strategy. So it's not one or the other, it's one and the other.
I think a good point here would be also that we've seen what it means to create these hardware products at Fitbit, and we know what it means for them to create the content that was destined for their products. And we've seen how expensive and complicated it was. And these are some insights that we have because we've been working there. We've seen how things work, but it's having hands-on experience on how things work for these kind of big companies. It's very mind-opening when you see them and you realize the problems that are in the industry.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe also important is to differentiate between, let's say, apps and systems and tools, because as you said, we try to make sure that we are not positioned as a fitness app. We try to make sure that we are positioned as the infrastructure besides everything. So we are, it is an app, but it's actually a gateway to the infrastructure that will somehow boost into these apps the content. So that's very important in my view to try to point out.
So just to make it as simple as clear as possible, we are not a fitness app, we are not an influencer tool, we are not a marketing tool. We are a content production, distribution, and monetization tool for professionals and businesses in this industry.
If any one of you is in the crypto space, we're kind of the layer one of the blockchain, kind of the Ethereum that's trying to build and other apps kind of built on top of it, feeding out.
Okay, let's continue. I'm trying to also moderate a little bit. So another question from Angel. Do I understand correctly that you see TV stations such as Wellness TV, which create their own content as obsolete? In that regard, what's your USP? No, they are a great distribution channel. They have their own audience, they have their own monetization strategy, they have their own profile and customer segments. We are just enabling, they are one of our potential clients to produce even more content for their own audience at a much lower cost, at a much simpler and easier, in a much simpler process. So we are not considering them obsolete. It's two types of content that you can produce. The good news is you can produce it once and distribute it and have multiple ways of consuming it. Interactive or non-interactive. Interactive means you have a digital platform, an app, hardware that interacts with consumers while they are doing the content or consuming the content. So skip a workout, provide feedback and other things. Non-interactive, YouTubes of the world, wellness TVs of the world, where you just look and do what's presented in that content. So no, they are not obsolete. They are needing a platform to scale even more their content production. Anonymous, I have to be honest, I don't understand what your software does. Sounds like video editing, but only for fitness sector. Can you make a quick demo or give some examples of customer use cases?
I can, yeah, maybe I can explain this because I've been on the front line of the product. So think about it this way: if a creator wants to create a workout that lasts for 45 minutes and they want to send it to their clients, they will actually need to film themselves, record themselves for 45 minutes, showing all the moves that they're trying to do and explain how they do it. Now, this is quite complicated. It's very time consuming. There's only so many hours in the day, so you can't do this. It's not scalable. So what we do is we take all of these videos, they upload it to us. We have our AI engine that identifies all of these moves that are inside that video. We cut them into these small Lego blocks that represent only the move itself. And then we send this back to them so they can create unlimited number of workouts just putting these Lego blocks together. So they wouldn't necessarily need to record themselves over and over again. They just need to record themselves once. They have all these Lego blocks that they can use. So in time, they will create this private library of exercises that's really scalable. It's consistent. It looks the same. It has the same experience, and it's presented in a very professional way. It's, I mean, we had interviews with users that were telling us that, okay, so you're kind of offering me a way to compete with Adidas and Nike because it's kind of at that level of experience, and that's nice to hear. And this is what we do. We take these kind of monoliths, these kind of chunks of videos, split it into these reusable blocks of content, and let people and trainers and creators create unlimited number of workouts for their clients, for their followers on social media, whoever they want.
Yeah, so thank you. We still have a lot of questions to cover.
Sorry.
Thank you so much for the great questions and the great answers. Will Hyperhuman be the only app of this kind? I'm sure it's not the only fitness app in the world. I'm positive. It's probably the only content production platform specially designed for the health and fitness industry. Please research and show us one open platform for creation, distribution, and licensing, specially designed for the health and fitness industry. What is your distribution strategy? How will you sell it? Two types of channels, different behaviors. Professionals, of course, have shorter sales cycles. We have a diversified sales and acquisition channel, from intention to awareness on multiple layers. Google search, social media, LinkedIn, and other platforms for professionals. For businesses, of course, direct sales team. We have right now a business development strategy. These businesses take longer lead times and, of course, different sales cycles.
Maybe to add this to the B2B is also on the top of the funnel, the content strategy, so content marketing, because most of the businesses that found us, we actually haven't put any money into acquiring businesses. Most of the businesses that found us founded because they had this pain, this need. So what we envision to do, of course, is content, put content out there so that we attract them and then try to convert them with, of course, a direct sales strategy.
Petru, could we see some numbers, financials? Yes, of course. All the financial data and required information is available on the SeedBlink details.
It's going to be public starting tomorrow morning.
Yes.
This is why he asked the question.
Awesome. Yes. Another question, is the app already working? What was turnover in 2020? So yes, the app, we launched the MVP of the whole ecosystem. It's just, the app is just the tip of the iceberg. You produce and distribute through an app, but underneath you have content moderation, content production, content storage, all the things that are important for creating, distributing, and then consuming. So yes, the entire ecosystem is live. We iterated, we improved, we extended a lot. We integrate now with the largest website builder in the world. They reached out to us months ago. We announced the name in a few weeks. So yes, everything is working. Everything is live and can be tested by anyone. Turnover, again, all the numbers are in the listing details.
You can download it, just access our page, hyperhuman.cc, and you can be redirected to the app stores.
Yes.
Just try it out.
Another question. Are you also helping creators self-fitness trainers? Do you need the community of trainers? Are you a network platform or focus on the software? Yes, besides creating, we are also educating them how to grow their business, how to embrace a digital strategy, both traditional fitness businesses that I answered a while ago, a question of who the businesses are. Traditional businesses, gyms need to be educated, Pilates organizations, so the let's say, tech savvy, to educate to how to incorporate the strategy, how to grow, how to expand. Yes, we are also doing this part of our campaigns and of our post-acquisition materials. Another question, have you identified potential investors for Series A? Thank you so much, Alexander, for the question. I have a lot of things to cover for that. If yes, what are the agreed metrics to be met to achieve that? How does your cash flow runway looks like? I think this is the best thing for us. We are only focused on delivering on our goals and our vision. The Series A round is very, very clear in terms of numbers, getting to a recurrent revenue around 1,900K per month. Of course, we have now a shortlist. I checked yesterday because someone from New York from a fund followed up. 79 funds, out of them 60 plus UK and US based are waiting for us to cross that MRR bridge and to help us scale in the next series. So yes, I can give you also a few names, but it's not right now important. They already saw us. Being on the radar is super important early because you establish a relationship. We had at least 2 or 3 follow-up updates from our end to let them know how we will evolve. We have FaceTime with them. So yes, we are preparing, but always focused on the next thing, growing, expanding on the B2B side, focusing on the commercial activities.
And of course, to complete the question, yes, the current round will take us to 90K MRR so that we achieve this and of course position ourselves as Bogdan mentioned, because that was also part of the question.
Yes.
Maybe before you go to the last 3 questions,
sure.
I want to ask you something else that I thought is going to be part of the questions already. How have you thought about the exit? Is there an exit strategy out there? Do you think about 5 years from now, 10 years from now? How do you see this?
Of course, I can give you a few names and industries from where they are from in terms of who can be interested. in acquiring capabilities to produce and distribute content at scale. Yes, we are very attractive for large corporate profiles. I don't want to give names because it will create some, let's say, things. I don't want to record it, but of course, for us, it's always create value for professionals and businesses. As you create value, you become more valuable. And of course, the sky is the limit. In our path, we see a lot of opportunities in joining big names along the way. Do you have any turnover? Yes, it's in the round details tomorrow on the platform. Do you see your products used by Apple, soon to Garmin? Funny, because I just connected to a few of my network peers from Garmin and Sunto. I worked with a few of them in the past. Yes, hardware, health and fitness hardware is one of our main clients, because you need to have, again, complementary content, fresh new content for different type of goals, for different type of audiences to retain your hardware clients. The next question, license. Please detail what is the protection you plan to build in. Of course, digital rights management is a very clear and simple, let's say, topic. There are a lot of providers that offer these kind of layers for digital rights management. We already have a few potential partners that will work with us to ensure the protection of the content. We also have safety mechanisms in our platform. So the good news is when they consume it, we don't need to be, let's say, worried about the distribution, because we are charging by, and will probably charge by the access and by the number of content consumed. So yes, with protection of the content is important. If you go in the licensing business needs volume. We need to get to that volume in order to enter that. It's all about focus right now, enabling businesses to produce and distribute at scale. As soon as we have the right volume, we'll open also the licensing opportunities. I think it's three more questions. So professionals will pay a fee for every content they send to you, or a monthly subscription to use your service. We are a purely software as a service company, both for professionals and businesses. It's a monthly subscription that businesses and professionals pay to have access to the platform, to all the features, and it's a volume based. So basically, we are offering it for free up until a certain limit of content, and then above that limit or removing that limit requires a subscription. Yes, it's a subscription, and yes, both for professionals and businesses. It's, if you see like a telecom provider is offering you a data package for your phone, and you have then pay as you go for additional megabytes used, that imagine that the same, let's say, approach. Almost the last question, can Apple Fitness subscription be a client for you? They focus a lot on health and fitness. These are the corporate level clients that we are talking about. Apple is a very, very, I have a lot of, let's say, former colleagues that now moved to Apple. Apple is very, let's say, closed ecosystem in terms of using it. They are usually acquiring these kind of platforms. So this connects to another question above this one. So yes. Anonymous, another question regarding the Lego blocks. Are they created manually, or do you have or plan to have a software for these actions? Yes, it's a human, let's say, augmented process. We have a content AI to extract, to understand what's going on in the video, understand what's an exercise, what's a break, what type of exercise, what's happening. And it's like a CAPTCHA for Google. It's a auto-learning process. Because if you remember, Google trained a lot of images by your own input, because you entered what's in that image, and this is how they train the system. Exactly the same thing happens. So yes, we have a human, and we have human moderators for the content to review that the system, the AI, extracted and identify all the Lego blocks that David mentioned earlier. We double check, we retrain the system, and that's how we make it even more efficient over time to create these reusable components easily.
Okay, Bogdan. Okay, guys, thanks a lot for the answers.
Thank you.
Now I'm going to ask one more question, which I know is annoying because of the number of answers that we're waiting for from you. But the question is, give us 3 reasons why investors are going to put money on Hyperhuman right now.
3 reasons. I can give you 3 success ingredients for every startup. You need to have a team, you need to have a market opportunity, and you need to be laser focused on execution. I think we all have these 3 ingredients and even more, and we have a proven record of all the 3 ingredients. More than that, the Hyperhuman extended team, now the 3 of us, we are now 14 people in this startup, built, designed, engineered, marketed, or sold digital products and consumer products and business products to millions of clients in the world. So we did this as a team in the past, and now we are applying and executing against this mission.
All right, it wasn't that harmful, it was easy.
I don't know if
I should have expected that. Okay, and now at the end, I'll ask again the 2 gentlemen to just tell us a few final words, probably for the investors that are going to join us next week.
My few words is, don't miss this opportunity.
Thank you, Cristi.
That's really just a few words. I think that there are 2 kinds of reactions expected from investors when they invest. Of course, it's either from greed or from fear of missing out. So I think that in the case of Hyperhuman, it should be greed. So ladies, gentlemen, investors, be greedy, because this is going to be a very good startup, and the valuation of this startup is going to skyrocket. Thank you.
All right, guys, it was a great night. It was a great pitch that you delivered, and I hope you actually answered the questions in the right way, the way expected by the investors. We don't know. I congratulate you again for everything that you have done until now, and I wish you have a very good future in front of you. Let's hope we are going to have a very good campaign next week, and Godspeed to all of us. Thanks.
Fingers crossed. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
For having us.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.